Back here inside the WEC post-game, NJIT victorious over North Florida 60-56 and getting that first conference win of the season against a pretty good opponent there in the North Florida Ospreys. And I'm happy to be joined by assistant coach Sara Mitchell. And coach, congratulations getting that first victory of the season here in the conference and putting yourselves right back in the ASUN tournament hunt.
Yep.
How's everything going there in the locker room right now?
It felt amazing. I mean, before we even walked in there, they were all cheering and celebrating. And I don't know if you saw the end of the game buzzer sound. It's like we won a championship. You know, it just felt really good. And you can feel that energy throughout the whole game. So.
This was a tough three-game homestand. You faced three really challenging opponents in North Alabama, then Jacksonville, and then come around and play North Florida. And to be as battle-tested as you were, the previous two games you fought tooth and nail, showed a lot of poise in being able to come back in certain moments. But tonight, at one point, being down 20-6, and then went on a big run eventually to take the lead and kind of put yourselves in position to win. I mean, did you feel like it was just all the dominoes falling into place here at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said. We had some big tests before this game, so we would like to say that that's what prepared us for this moment. You know, we've been at this, in these positions before, and we knew that poise was going to be a huge part of our game. I thought every game, like you said, we kept getting better. We kept building. This one was coming. Like we felt it. I said it to them before the game. I'm like, this is the moment that we've been fighting for. So embrace this moment. And if you have to get your heart broken by the end of the night, then that's fine. But put it all out there. We know what we've learned, and just play your absolute best. And I thought that's what they did.
Tell you, coming into the game, you suffer another big injury for MB. So you miss her. And then, for the other side for North Florida, I mean, they got Jazz Bond, they have Adrian Jackson, and, of course, a slew of other players. And you're thinking, how can we able to match up with some of their size? And then Maria Fuchs and Samantha Schultz step up as much as they've never before, and ended up being a big situation for you because you come out on top.
Yep. I mean, again, those kids know they had to be ready. We had a game plan. The game plan applies to MB just as much as it does for Sam and Maria and all those other guys. And we take our scout prep really serious for those moments. And I thought those guys really bought in. We were switching things up a little bit, and everyone was engaged and knew what they were doing. And, when your moment comes, you got to be ready. And they were ready today.
They're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the conference, and you kind of, in what we saw was your team being able to defend that pretty well. How much emphasis throughout just pretty much one day of practice, essentially, in order to prepare against their perimeter shooting?
Yep, so we always say Sundays is a mental practice. We watch a lot of film, we do a lot of walkthrough, and, we just literally, even for the coaches, we just kind of test things out and see what we like the most. So it was a mental preparation. We knew we had to switch everything kind of because they were really good in the inside, they were really good outside, and we just had to have someone with someone at all times. So we were like, just let's switch everything and let's have a presence all over the court and see how that goes. And then they started going inside a little bit on our guards, and then we had to make the adjustment as well. And I thought the girls really responded to that mental practice that we had yesterday.
Tell you, though, Ellen Stoll and Maria Fuchs were able to hit some three-point shots along the way. Kenna Squire found her rhythm late in the game. And, obviously with Danielle, another double-double. And knowing that for all these players mentioned, that, they're really starting to find their groove now here, especially after some tough games. You have a pivotal moment here in the schedule now where you got to go on the road and play some tough teams.
Yep, but this is almost where season matters the most. We had our first stretch. Now we're getting to play all these teams the second time around, and now we always say this in practice, we want to get a third season. We want to get to that third season, go to a tournament, see what we can do, because this is really what matters. This is absolutely when people can crumble or they really rise, and hopefully our kids just continue to rise and keep fighting through the adversity that this season just keeps throwing at us. But the character that it's building in each and one of them is really, really nice to see from a coaching perspective.
Can't look too far ahead. I know Lipscomb is a team you're up looking at next, but you do have Liberty, which you will have to play on Saturday. I know you got a week long of practice. What are you guys looking to work on in preparation for the weekend?
Again, pretty sure I said this before to you one time in this seat. Every time in practice we're looking for the next thing. Like we did this thing well, all right, let's go on to the next level. Obviously every opponent has a different game plan. So now we got stuff to plan for Lipscomb and Liberty. We played both of them really close, so hopefully that put some confidence in our girls that we can play with those guys. But it's going to really mean putting up 40 minutes, and that's what we did today. Let's not just have this be a one and done thing. Like, let's keep going. Let's shock everyone and show them what we're about, and hopefully we can do that for the rest of the stretch here.
Couldn't agree more. Rooting for you, hoping that things continue to go well for you. But I do have one last question, and this is kind of normal when NJIT wins. So where are we going for ice cream?
I'm pretty sure it's Carvel.
You're going to Carvel?
So it's typically Carvel.
That's good to know because I'm craving some cookies and cream
There we
right
go.
now. So
We got you.
that is awesome. Well, Coach, congratulations. And as I always like to say, I enjoy doing this. Hopefully we get to do this a little bit more here before the season runs out.
Looking forward to it.
Excellent. So that's Coach Sara Mitchell. I'm Mike Ventola. As always, folks, thanks for watching.